Hello and welcome to the July edition of Digging Up Positivity. This month we announced the art and Biro winners at the end of the video, and of course we're covering charities, more positive news, and our featurette of this month is not just drawing awesome comics like Simon and Freddy, but is an esteemed teacher as well, Hukley. This month we started out strong with Anthrocon, raising a whopping $25,000 for wildlife work. While this year was still a virtual convention, they managed to do a lovely dance competition, online workshops and much more. But in 2022 they will return with a classic convention in Pittsburgh, USA. Ramcon had their third installment of their online convention with the amazing Dinosaur Island Vacation team and raised $197.27 for the SaveAFox rescue, an organization devoted to rescue foxes that are born in captivity, to see that they're spayed, neutered and provided all the necessary veterinary needs, and to tend to their care and socialization to prepare them to live happy lives in knowledgeable forever homes. The Furry placed a visit in South America, Brazil Furfest, raised over $5,000 for the SOS Vida Pet at their online convention. This organization dedicates themselves to help neglected and abandoned animals. Next year's Brazil Furfest will return in their classic form at the Sheraton Santos Hotel in Los Santos. In the Netherlands, LeonFoxy managed to raise $3,175 during one of his charity streams for Extra Life, an initiative by the Children's Miracle Network Hospitals, a network of 170 hospitals that provide 32 million treatments each year for kids across the US and Canada. Recently, I bumped into an article at the local Dutch newspaper where one of the members of our community was really going the extra mile for a chicken. I had the pleasure to talking with her on the phone. Hello Iris, can you tell us something about yourself?
Yes, sure I can. I'm Iris, I'm from the Netherlands. I'm 22 years old and I've been in the fandom for around 6 years now.
Oh wow, that's quite a bit. And I do recall us being on events together and stuff, and it was always fun to have you around. When you were on a walk, you saw a chicken at the local petting zoo that was clearly in distress, and it ended up in the national newspapers. What happened?
Well, like you said, I was walking around in the park like I usually do every week. And there was a chicken laying on its side. It was clearly in a lot of pain. So I called the animal control and the police to search help for the chicken, because in the Netherlands you can't take an animal that isn't yours to help. So I searched for help from professionals, but didn't went as easy as I expected. I ended up calling 16 times and telling the story on Twitter in the hope to get some help from someone on there, because the animal control and the police weren't going to help me. And from there on, the local newspaper contacted me about my story about the chicken, and it ended up in the newspaper.
Oh wow, and what eventually happened to the chicken after that?
The chicken was brought to the animal hospital, but it was very emaciated. He couldn't eat for a few days because he wasn't able to walk. So sadly he was put down because his injury was too big and he was too thin to help him.
Oh, that's very unfortunate. However, you have done what you could, and at least the chicken had a worthy end.
Yes, I had in mind he would be put down, but I rather had him put down at the animal hospital than him laying there waiting to die because of hunger. So
yeah, you really did the right thing. Thank you very much. Is there anything, for example, when if you would ever be asked to propose a change to prevent situations like this, do you have any ideas?
Well, by law in the Netherlands, you can't go on someone's property and take someone's animal if it is in distress. So it would be much better if there's a law that when you see an animal in distress, you're allowed to take it and search help for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also hope that people think twice when they see an animal in distress and help it.
Yeah, then the world definitely would be a better place.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for your thoughts and your time. And
thank you for hearing my story.
yeah, you're most welcome. Keep up the good work, and the world is becoming a better place thanks to people like you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
I will do my best.
I know you will. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
One of the more interesting chiptune artists that also happens to appear in the outro of this show, well, at least his music, is John Skies. He has worked on various awesome video edits and musical projects within the fandom, like Forever, a furry album for the Spanish Furry Animo for their 5th anniversary. One of his main drives is to let people work together, so that we all can blossom together as a beautiful community. Currently, he's working on Don't Give Up, which is an inspiring album for those who are going through a rough time. Expect more news regarding this wonderful project in the upcoming episodes. On BML 2021, a big fantasy convention in China, Yanwu Dahu and others performed a wonderful show around the opening theme of Beastars, and seeing the response of the crowd, the popularity of that show stretches well beyond the borders of our fandom. Growing up can be very rough, especially when you have a Karen for a mother. But what, as in on top of all your problems, you turn into a giant red panda if you're excited or stressed. Domi Shi, who won an Oscar for the Pixar short Bao, took the concept and made a movie out of it. Another fun little detail that some noticed in the trailer is that one character has a continuous glucose monitor. This is also known as a CGM on their arm. And a few seconds later you can see that same character wearing a purple insulin pump. These are commonly used for type 1 diabetes. A lot of people who are in this situation, including several organizations, were delighted to see themselves represented in a movie from their favorite animation studio. Behind the scenes, I'm honored to share and pool resources with Global Furry Television, led by Pausery. In May we had him on the show, and this month Global Furry Television has turned 7. While Global Furry Television started out in a different form, they kind of changed throughout the years, slowly turning in what it is today. Congratulations, Pausery, to both you and your team, and onwards to the magical number 10. And now for our featurette. Score Chaser and Hukley, you both have the stage.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Score Chaser, and once again we have come to the end of another month. I really hope it was positive for you. Just like July, we're coming to the end of our episode. As we do every month, we invite a guest to appear on Digging Up Positivity to talk about themselves and their experience in the furry fandom. This month we have artist and educator Hukley. Hello Hukley, thank you for joining us today.
Hey everyone, Hukley here. First, thank you very much for having me here. It was really unexpected for me and I really appreciate it. Hope everyone is having a great day out there. Alrighty, so let's go for it.
How did you discover the furry fandom and how long have you been a part of it?
Oh, I found out about the furry fandom thanks to the House Pets comics of Rick Griffin. You surely know about it since Rick was featured in the April's broadcast of Digging Up Positivity. I drew some comics for several guest weeks as well. That was in 2013, I think. During that time, I read a lot of webcomics. When I found House Pets, I decided to register on the forums as well. There I found out about the furry fandom. So, all in all, that's 8 years now. Time flies, huh? Since then, I had the honor of getting to know a lot of awesome people.
How long have you been drawing, and what are your favorite things to draw?
Oh wow, I think I've been drawing my whole life. I started by decorating my student desk when I was a kid, which wasn't really appreciated by my teachers. I also drew comics back then and even made a little shoe newspaper with comics. In 2013 I started to draw digitally as well, and I loved it. That was also the time where I started my own webcomic, Simon and Freddy, which I renamed Freddy Fox in the meantime. I really loved to work on these, but they were so time intense. And next to working and studies, I sadly had to stop. But I really hope to continue them someday. Now that I kinda announced that, I think I have even a reason more to do it again. Well, the website is still up if you wanna have a look at it. It was really a big project of mine, and yeah, maybe I can continue it soon. I still have plenty of ideas left for it. Well, my favorite things to draw are fluffy animals, as you could guess. I mostly draw happy stuff. Drawing is a big hobby of mine, and when I'm able to spread a bit of happiness with it, then it's a win-win for me.
What inspired you to become an educator?
It was a long way before I finally became a teacher. When I was younger, I was rather undecided on what job I wanted to do. I tried many things. So I worked as a mechanic, as a banker, and even started the selection process to becoming a police officer. During this time, I realized that I want to work with people, and I always love to teach stuff to others. Since I know the feeling of not knowing what to become later and being glad for getting second chances, I really could imagine myself being a teacher and helping others to find their way in life and trying to inspire young people for this world we live in. So I started teacher training and succeeded. I really liked the job, but I realized as a teacher your job is like to be a captain, steering a ship through the ocean, which means you haven't too much time to look for every single of your sailors. That was the moment I decided to become a special education teacher, to be like a first mate, having time for all the kids. It's an intense job, but very rewarding, especially when you can motivate kids to learn new things. I really love it.
What does being a furry mean to you?
For me the fandom has always been a colorful place with different people, opinions, lifestyles, stories and more. And it seemed that everyone was welcome. It was always really inspiring for me, and as I said before, I was able to meet a lot of great people in the fandom. Of course, there were also some not so great moments, but I guess that's life. Every medal has two sides. But most of my experience with the fandom has been positive so far, and in the end, that's what counts for me. So being a furry for me is kinda the feeling to be yourself. It's not about having a fursuit or drawing fuzzy animals. It's more like the feeling that you can express yourself in a community that I experience as very welcoming.
Do you have a favorite memory from your time in the fandom?
For me it was really awesome to meet people from the fandom in person and having great times with them. Since all of those moments were really special to me, I can't decide for a favorite memory. The sum of them making a great package.
Well, Hukley, that wraps up all the questions I had for you. Thank you again for being here today and answering those questions. It's been a real pleasure having you on. If any of you would like to see Hukley's artwork, look in the description below and you'll find links to where he posts his artwork as well as the link for his webcomic. Be sure to check it out.
Alright, thanks again for having me here and keep up the awesome work with the show. I wish you all a nice August, a great Skunktember and an awesome Foxtober. Stay positive y'all. Hukley over and out.
And thank you both for being on the show. Last month we covered Art and Biro, the hardcover comic by Paco Panda from his very successful Kickstarter, and we said we were going to give two away. So I noted down all the names who wanted one, and I drew two names through Google's random number generator, Wan Tihen and Mino's Adventures. Please do use the contact form listed in the description or email me at thabo@dutchverse.nl so I can verify your identity and send the address to Paco Panda, who will take it from there. You both can respond until the airing of the next episode to claim your book. Now, thank you very much for sticking with us till the very end, and I would especially thank my sponsors from both Patreon and Subscribestar for making all of this possible, or at least a lot easier. Cosmic with a K, Els Dekkers, Falconeo, Hanzana, Ishnula, Kitako, Tantru McNally, Taros and Scorechaser. I'm also happy to announce that we have new Thabo Meerkat merchandise at the Artwork Tea Shop. The URL is listed in the description below or here on the screen. We will return on August 28th. Thank you all so much, and of course, all the hugs.
Taking off, 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 taking off.